Are you going for that all-important interview and feeling unprepared? Do you want to refine your answers to improve your chances at getting that job? Does your fear get the better of you when you are answering interview questions? Would you like to know some of the questions that are typically asked in an interview? An interview is an important stage in your pursuit of that ideal job or career. It is your opportunity to showcase yourself, your skills, and your qualities, and to close the deal with the prospective employer. Let's explore some typical questions, their collective theme, and possible responses. Tell me about yourself. This question is soliciting information about your professional strengths, qualities, transferable skills, and area for development. It opens the door to share pertinent things about you that is beneficial for contributing to your professional accomplishments or aspirations. Describe your effectiveness at communicating, your flexibility and adaptable character, your ability to plan and organize efficiently, your capacity to work under pressure, your love of investing in others, and your keenness to monitor changes and be accountable for practice development and building positive and successful relationships. Describe your teaching style. This question seeks information about your default, though evolving, teaching pedagogy, how you create and curate your learning environment, and what diet and experience your students will have whilst under your tutelage. Include information about your use of collaborative and independent learning, your use of manipulatives, tactile resources, and facilitating learning. Incorporate in your response your personalization of learning, your engagement and inclusiveness, visible and adaptive learning, as well as classroom behavior management, and equipping students in practicing self-regulation and viable attitudes for learning. Describe your classroom management style. The expectation of this question goes beyond behavior management. It also includes the environment that is created for learning, access to resources, and managing the various learning resources, activities, and relationships within the classroom. In your response, share about your behavior management approach, your classroom culture that you develop, how you foster respect, your response to challenges, and the right approaches you have taken to ensure attitude for learning is good and students are exposed to learning opportunities that will support with enhancing their outcomes. Thinking back on the lesson you taught today, how did you think it went? This question is assessing your knowledge of what makes a good lesson, your capability to reflect, evaluate, and address improvements. In your response, focus on what makes a good lesson and how this was evident in your demonstration lesson. Talk about the strengths of your lesson and how that impacted on students' learning. Be clear about any adapting of the lesson plan to meet students' needs. Equally, talk about what could be better in this lesson and how you would improve on this in the next lesson had this been your personal teaching group. Tell me about a lesson you taught that didn't go as well as you planned and what you learned from it. This question is looking at your ability to reflect and your ability to adapt, as well as your attitude to lifelong learning. Even the best planned lessons can go a little bit wrong, whether it's prerequisites, exposition approach, time of the day, complexities of the concepts students need to learn, technology failure, or collaborative learning not going as well as you've planned. Reflect on a lesson taught where one or another of these scenarios happened. Explain what exactly happened and clarify how you circumvent that. Highlight what skills you have learned that you've added to your pedagogical toolkit and any additional training that you have done as a result of your experience. How do you use assessment to drive students' progress? This question is looking at your understanding of the length, breadth, and depth of assessment, the role it plays in planning for and meeting the needs of learners and their resulting outcomes. Assessment looks at assessment for learning, as learning, of learning, and interventions implemented to direct steps in students' learning. It also includes questioning styles, differentiation, meeting students' needs, and redressing gaps in their learning. Additionally, assessment involves the identifying and eradicating of misconceptions with appropriate interventions for students to excel. When responding, explore the different facets of assessments, such as formative assessment, summative assessment, and the vital role assessment plays in students' progress. Discuss how students working at grade and their target grades inform your planning and how you are monitoring and tracking progress to keep students on track or accelerate their learning. Include measures taken to intervene and bridge gaps in learning and the role independent studies play in your planning for and ensuring that students are learning. Share how you use assessment results when assessments are conducted, including how you adapt learning and ensure students are exposed to work that gives adequate levels of challenge. Discuss how you use questions to probe for and eradicate misconceptions in both your expositions and progressive checks as you purposefully circulate the classroom. How beneficial do you think technology is as a tool in learning? This question is assessing your ability to adapt, the way you think about, plan for, and expose students to a variety of learning opportunities. In this 21st century, technology is at most people's fingertips. Students are engaging with their phones, tablets, the internet, and a range of other technology in their daily encounters. In the future, teachers are preparing students for. They will need to be skillful at using a range of technology. Explore how technology is enhancing your exposition each lesson. How you give students opportunities with technology through collaboration, engagement, and assessment. Also include opportunities you are aware of and planning on trying to improve students' experiences and outcomes. Be mindful that your inclusion of ones you haven't used but look forward to trying could lead to follow-up questions, so be prepared for those and how you would respond. Describe a typical lesson in your subject, or what are the features of a good lesson? This question is looking at your ability to see what are some of the essentials that are necessary in making up a good learning experience for students. There are several essentials for a good lesson in any subject. Lessons need to have clear learning intentions and the expected learning outcomes. A range of assessment that checks prior learning or prior knowledge, their understanding and showing progress. Modeling abstract ideas in concrete ways, using direct instructions and clear explanations. Designing lessons with a hook that gives opportunities to all to succeed, providing appropriate challenges for all students, providing developmental feedback throughout, and summarizing the learning. Talk through each of these and how you utilize them in your own lesson planning and delivery. How do you include parents or carers in their child's education? This question is looking at your ability to engage parents and to solicit their support in managing students' learning and their outcomes. Parents are the other stakeholders in education that often become silent for one reason or another. Their involvement and inclusion in their children's education journey is more often than not very powerful. Equipping them to play the role efficiently is essential because they already feel out of sync with the changes in education and out of touch with the information surrounding various subjects that they have not studied for years. It's important that parents feel confident to support their children and have the capacity to be more closely involved in different aspects of their learning. Include ideas of newsletters, phone calls, subject awareness sessions, Parents' Hour, use of website, fundraising, and other events that keep parents in the know and feeling capable of supporting their children in optimizing their potential. If you are concerned with the welfare of a student in your class or tutor group, what measures would you take? This question seeks for you to demonstrate your knowledge about safeguarding, focusing on matters such as abuse, neglect, self-harming, bullying, radicalization, forced marriages, and prohibited cultural practices, as well as protected characteristics and other elements of safeguarding. When responding, make clear some of the signs that would be a red flag, and then be clear about the chain of command for reporting these incidences to the designated safeguarding lead or team members. Also emphasize not refusing a child the opportunity if they choose you to confide in, refraining from asking leading questions, and making it clear that you will need to pass on relevant information for their own safety. Why are you a good fit for our school? This question looks at how much information you know about the school in the research that you've done and give them a likely idea of what your tenure in their school would be like. This is your opportunity to demonstrate that you have done your research into the school and have an understanding of some of their processes, history, or journey. Choose something about their mission statement, school demographics, school performance, specialism, or curriculum structure that attracted you to the school. Explain your teaching philosophy and how it connects in with that school focus that you have chosen. Additionally, share about some of their specific skill set and training and how you believe that you would be impactful in the school. You can also explore how professional development emphasis in the school can contribute to your future professional growth and development. Do you have any questions for us? This is a formal gesture to give you the opportunity to ask for any clarity that you need from proceedings throughout the day. It's also an opportunity for you to ask questions that you might have had in the back of your mind from previous. So many things have happened throughout the day, and you might feel saturated with information and relieved that the process is over. Nevertheless, it is imperative that you use the opportunity to discover more about the school to help you with your decision making should you be offered the role. Some questions that you can ask are, What's your school culture in practice from parents and students' view? What does collaboration look like in your school? What are you most proud of at your school? If you could, what are the 3 things that you would transform in your school and why? What is the typical staff turnover rate at your school, and what would you consider are the factors behind such rate? What support and CPD do you provide for new and long-standing teachers? Interviews in and of themselves are competitive and grueling. To optimize your chance of succeeding, it's important that you research and plan well for the day. Where possible, get someone to ask you the questions and assess your response. If that's not possible, blurb each response or record your response and play back for assessment. Whatever your response is, try to remain calm, focused on each aspect of the day, taking them one at a time to give yourself the best chance to excel in each stage. Hopefully, these suggestions will give you the added advantage on your interview day.